Howdy everyone, and welcome to our first Revit learning video of the semester. So this semester, instead of working through an entire course together, the AEI team just wanted to put out some quick, helpful videos that can speed up work for beginners and more experienced Revit users. So let's hop right in. This first video is going to be covering key commands. If you're not familiar, key commands, or shortcuts, is just using combinations of keys on your keyboard to avoid having to use your mouse and just to speed up your work. Some super common examples are Ctrl C to copy and Ctrl V to paste in any app. Starting off simple, cut, copy, paste, and undo all work in Revit as they do in any other program. Looking at this window, I can hit Ctrl C, then Ctrl V to copy and paste and undo that really quickly with Ctrl Z, and then Ctrl X to cut and paste with Ctrl V again. If you really want to speed up the process, Revit allows you to group different elements together, so let's say you want to have several pairs of windows that are equally spaced throughout the building. So I click on both windows while holding Ctrl and hit GP. Now these two windows are grouped together and we can use copy and paste to add in windows all around the building. Another two that I find super helpful are hide and unhide. So the long way to hide an element is to go all the way down to the icon panel, hit the tiny glasses button, then hit hide element from the pop-up list. What I find much faster is to select your element and then hit HH and it's done in half the time. Once you're done with the hidden element, you can simply hit HR and bring everything back. Next up, some general viewpoint and formatting shortcuts. Any organized project needs grid lines. So if you need to add more, the command is GR while you're in a floor plan. Similarly, if you need another level view for your model, while in any of your elevation views, you can go ahead and hit LL, 2 L's in a row, and place your new level. Now let's get into some architectural and structural commands. From any viewpoint, you can use DR to bring up the door placement page and add multiple doors like you would if you'd gone through the architecture tab. The same goes for windows, just use WN, so that's DR for door and WN for window. A command that can be used for architectural or structural is the wall command, WA. Of course, always remember to check if your wall's base height and height constraints are properly set before you start. Continuing with structural shortcuts, you can begin a foundation wall with FT. Add a floor to any area using SB. And finally, 3 common structural elements, beams, BM, brace, BR, and column, CL. A few common mechanical or MEP elements would be DT for drawing ducts, EE for most electrical equipment, ME for mechanical equipment, and PI for pipe. Well, that's all I have for y'all today. While memorizing these commands seems daunting, my recommendation for putting them to practice is to make a sticky note of the commands you want to memorize, and while you're working, instead of doing everything the long way, use your note for reference and eventually you'll be using these commands from memory. If you're already familiar with these simple commands and or want to check out all the commands that are programmed into Revit, I'm going to put a link to the official Autodesk website for Revit keyboard shortcuts in the description. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. T's and G's.